Thomas Tuchel extends his contract till 2028 after the Euros. Does this spark the managerial merry-go-round early? Sean Dyche has been sacked. Thomas Frank has been sacked. Victor Pereira is the new favourite to go in at Forest. But Thomas Tuchel, extending his contract, officially rules him out of the Manchester United job. What happens now? Do Man United stick with Carrick? Do Man United go and look at Luis Enrique? Who knows what's going to happen in this managerial go-around? Who do Tottenham go and get? But this is a good thing for England because Thomas Tuchel will win a major trophy with England. The football England are playing under Tuchel is the best we've had in a long time. But this managerial merry-go-round started with Thomas Frank being sacked. And then Sean Dyche gets sacked. Who's next? Now, the Frank one was inevitable because Tottenham are in a relegation fight, as it were, with the teams around them picking up points, and they're just falling into that relegation zone hard. And then you look at Sean Dyche, wasn't given enough time at Forest. Victor Pereira wasn't good enough at Wolves. Is he good enough for Forest? How long will he get at Forest with Mr. Marinakis? We know how much he loves the spotlight at Forest. And then you look at who's now available to take the Tottenham job. Do they get an interim? Do they go and get a permanent manager? How does this affect the jobs that are coming up? Because the Manchester City job's probably going to come up in the summer. You know, is Eddie Howe's job safe at Newcastle if their form doesn't improve? Obviously, Manchester United, are they going to stick with Carrick? Are they going to go for a new manager in Luis Enrique? Obviously, now Thomas Tuchel's ruled out. What happens to these managers? Now, in all honesty, you can see some movement because obviously Glasner's now available. In the summer, where does he go? Do Tottenham get an interim and then go for Glasner? These managers now, you've got Xavi, who's available more than likely now if the right job comes along. Will Michael Carrick stay at Man United, or does he go for the Tottenham job in the summer? These managers are going to move, and they're going to move quickly in the summer. If Pep leaves, who goes into the Man City job? Where does Sean Dyche go now? Does Dyche go to Tottenham? That would be a story if Dyche went to Tottenham. I think Tottenham need stability at the minute. They don't need a manager to come in and proclaim that they're going to win things. They need someone who's going to come in and stabilise that club and get them out of that relegation fight. Tim Sherwood said on Sky Sports News that he could come in and do the job. I think the odds-on favourite in the summer is Poch to go back to Tottenham. Now, would they accept him after he's been at Chelsea? Maybe. I don't know. Poch has always been loved by Tottenham. But the big news is Tuchel ruling himself out of any club management job until 2028. How does this affect club management? Zinedine Zidane could come and make a return to club football. It's a tough one with these managers now, because Thomas Frank, I think, was walking into a job he wasn't ready for with Tottenham. I think Dyche should have been given more time, really, because he's good at getting teams out of relegation, and it's now you're looking at it with Tottenham, really, and you're thinking, do they go and get Robbie Keane, a man who knows the club and, like Michael Carrick, can stabilise them? It's a tough one because if Eddie Howe leaves Newcastle, I would have thought he would have gone for the England job if Tuchel hadn't extended his contract. But this is good news for England because it gives them that boost knowing that Tuchel's going to stay for the Euros as well, which, because I think some of the players might have thought, well, he's going in the summer, he's going after this World Cup because why are we going to bother, putting in a performance? So now they will give their all for him. But Tottenham and Forest, two clubs really on the precipice of trouble, really, because either one of them could go down. The spotlight is very on Mr. Marinakis at Forest because he loves the spotlight. I think sacking Nuno was the wrong thing to do. Forest, I think, with their owner, I think he thinks they should be in the top four when they're not a top four club. Tottenham, they were supposed to kick on after the Europa League win against Manchester United. They just haven't. Do Tottenham go and get Big Ange back? Is that something they could do? Would Ange go back? Now, the managerial market will move in the summer, and it will be, I think, a lot of shocks. There will be some surprises of who goes where, and I think if Pep does leave Man City, I think it will be who goes into the Man City job will determine which domino falls first. Because I think if they get Luis Enrique, that rules him out of some of the jobs that, like the Manchester United job, that he's the odds-on favourite for. Because if he doesn't go to Man United, I think Man United will move for Pochettino because there's always been that affiliation with Pochettino and Man United. And then if Eddie Howe leaves Newcastle, does he go to Tottenham? Because I think Eddie Howe would do all right at Tottenham. But the news coming out of Nottingham Forest today is Victor Pereira is the odds-on favourite. Does that guarantee Forest going down? Because Victor Pereira almost certainly put Wolves in the position they're in this season. But let me know what you guys think. Who's going to go where in this summer of managers? Is Tuchel extending his contract a good thing, a bad thing? I can see it as a good thing. Will England win the World Cup? Will England win the Euros in 2028? Who knows? I think it'll be one of the two. I think we'll get close in the World Cup. I think we'll do really well. And then it's how we play against the big teams determines if we have got the fighting spirit of what Gareth Southgate used to do with us, or if we've finally stepped over that line and actually can now beat the big teams, or if we can actually win a Euros and end however many years of it is now since England last won a major trophy. But yeah, let me know. Like, subscribe. See you soon.